You're in the Real Paige kitchen. It's Sunday afternoon and we're cooking again. You know me, if there's a recipe that sounds delicious and it helps put a meal on the table in under 30 minutes, I'm all about trying it. So quick, easy, healthy, and homemade dinners. That's what the Real Paige kitchen is about. So I have a delicious dinner tonight. There's a lot of moving parts, and so we are going to get started pretty quickly, but let me tell you what we're going to make. I have a delicious South Carolina barbecue salmon that I'm going to bake. I have Orecchiette pasta with Brussels sprouts and broccoli with a little bit of lemon zest. And then I'm going to make a beautiful caprese salad with tomatoes that came from my farm box, my CSA box. I'm dying to try them. So let me tell you a little bit about Orecchiette. This is a small cut pasta. And I think that it's named this because they look like ears. They're just like little cups of pasta. We're going to pre-cook those in our quick cooker, and then I'm going to prepare all the vegetables, slice and dice, and we'll cook that, and then we'll bring everything together at the end. So, of course, we always get started with some wine that we'll enjoy with our dinner, and I'm going to open that right now because I love to have a little sip of wine as I'm cooking. I'm having a California Chardonnay today from Sonoma County. Summertime, I seem to like white wines a lot of times with those lighter dinners with vegetables and lighter flavors. I love red wine, but I've recently fallen in love with white again. So I hope that we enjoy this. I have my mom here and I have Isaac here. Oh, bad news. Isaac, my cameraman, my son who lives 20 minutes from me, took a job opportunity in Pittsburgh and is now moving 5 hours away. So I'm not sure how he's going to make it back in time to be my cameraman on Sundays. So this is our last day. So if you've enjoyed having Isaac participate in the videos, go ahead and give a little shout out to him. I'm going to have to figure out something else, like do it myself. That's going to be hilarious. So anyway, here's our Chardonnay. You pass that to Nan, please. She might want an ice cube. And here's to you, buddy. Cheers. All right, take a sip and we'll get going. Like it. Okay, let's get our pasta cooking first of all. In the quick cooker, I can add just water, salt, some oil, and the pasta, and then turn it on and just forget it. I don't have to worry about pasta water boiling over or checking it or anything. It just works out perfectly. So I'm going to do this right here in the quick cooker. I have the insert pan. I'm just going to add my pasta. It's a pound of pasta. I'm going to add 4 cups of water. I'm going to add a couple dashes of salt, and I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil just to help it not stick together so much. So I'm going to give that a little stir around, just get everything covered. I'm going to put my lid back on, make sure my pressure seal is down, and I'm going to cook this at high pressure for about 4 minutes. Press start. It'll take some time to come up to pressure, and then it'll actually cook at high pressure for 4 minutes. It'll beep, and then we'll know that it's ready. And we're not going to use that until later after our vegetables are cooked. So I'm going to get started with our caprese salad first, and then that's just out of the way. So caprese salad is fresh tomatoes, fresh mozzarella cheese, and some fresh basil. I always like to drizzle a little olive oil and balsamic vinaigrette on mine with salt and pepper. Delicious. Sometimes I love to have just that for lunch during the summer. So I'm going to use a quick slice. It's kind of the easiest way to do this. I'm going to start with tomato. And I'm just going to slice him. Push down. It's a big tomato. And then I can push it down here. And now I have the slices. So I'm going to put those on my plate, but first I'm going to slice my cheese as well. Fresh mozzarella cheese is a little different than like hard dried mozzarella cheese. You can get really homemade fresh at like Italian markets, or you can find this in a ball at the grocery store. So I love this that it makes nice even slices, because then I can layer a tomato, a thing of cheese, and a basil leaf. And tomato and cheese. I just keep doing that pattern. Smells like summer. And I think one more set. Okay, I'll set these aside for later. This is our caprese salad. Now, if you're taking this to a picnic or something, you can slice them and just line them up in a nice, nice tray or a platter, or rectangular cool and serve works very nice for it. Again, I'm just going to drizzle on just a little bit of balsamic vinegar, special dark aged vinegar that comes from Modena, Spain, or Italy. And a little bit of olive oil, which I don't know where it went. Oh, hiding. Just a little drizzle. And of course, some fresh cracked salt and pepper. Okay, now that salad dish is done, and we'll put that aside, and we'll get going on our other things. That's just out of the way. We don't have to worry about that anymore. So I'm just going to wipe off my board here, set these things aside as well. All right, I'm going to prep the salmon, and then I'm going to prep all the veggies for the pasta dish. We're going to put the salmon in the oven to cook. It doesn't take long. While that's cooking, we'll cook up our vegetables on the stove. Eventually, we'll add our pasta in. Everything should be ready around the same time. I don't know. We'll see. I've got salmon fillets. These are wild caught sockeye salmon. I'm just going to pat them dry a little bit. Extra moisture on there makes it sometimes so that your seasoning doesn't stick. So if you have it dry, you can put some oil on, and then you rub and go from there. So here's my salmon fillets. They aren't always the exact same size, depending on which part of the fish they're cut from, but we can set them up. The sauce I'm going to make is delicious. We're going to use the South Carolina barbecue rub, which is one of our new spices that just came out for summer. That sounds like a very strange thing to put on salmon, but it's a mustard, kind of a tart and sweet mustard seasoning. It will be very, very yummy on that. So to bake our salmon, we are just going to rub on a little bit of the olive oil. Just over the tops. We're going to place the salmon skin side down on our pan. You could use a stone bar pan, a baking sheet. I'm going to use the enamel cast iron 2-quart baker. I love how things come out in the oven, and then it's so pretty I can put it right to the table. So I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil just on the bottom of my pan too. Just brush that around. And I'm going to lay these skin side down. Like that. Now, on top of that, I'm going to put some of the rub. I'm just going to sprinkle it on a little bit here. It's not sprinkling. Hang on a second. I think I need to just, oh. I must have left the lid off and it
Also, it's really humid out lately.
Got a little bit of moisture in it. Yeah, that's okay. So I'm just going to rub that on. Sprinkle that. And I think then that's ready to go. We're going to bake that in a little bit after we have all of our vegetables prepared. So let's move on to the pasta dish then. Our pasta's cooking, and we're going to prepare garlic, Brussels sprouts, and broccoli. That's going to be our veggies in here. We're going to start by slicing the garlic. So I have 3 cloves of garlic that I've peeled. Instead of pressing them, I'm going to slice them so that when we cook them in the oil, you get a little bit more garlic flavor. Okay, so I can set these aside. We're going to start with those in the pan. I'm also going to slice the Brussels sprouts and the broccoli. I'm going to change the setting on that to, okay, number 1 thickness for the garlic, and broccoli and Brussels number 6 thickness. See, in the back of the mandolin, we have knobs, and you can set it for slices, for julienne, for French fries, and then the number dial tells you the thickness of the slices. So the recipe says number 6, so I'm going to follow the recipe. So let's see what it does here. Start with the Brussels sprouts. These are just fresh Brussels sprouts, have been trimmed a little bit. I'm going to slice them. Make them so that they cook up a little bit faster, especially tossing them, sauteing them in some oil. Now, this is a food item that I could not stand as a child. I don't know what it was. I love Brussels sprouts now. I like them raw in salads. I like them roasted. I like them cooked with butter or bacon. I mean, I love them.
They're genetically a different vegetable now.
What?
Than when you were a child. Through breeding of the plants, they are a much more palatable vegetable now than they were.
Oh, see, apparently when I was a child, before they had modified vegetables genetically, I didn't like them, but now I do. Although these are not genetically modified Brussels sprouts, but I guess at some point.
So was a banana, so was a lemon.
Gotcha.
Everything you cut here is GMO.
Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of broccoli to that. That's a lot of Brussels sprouts. That's what it called for. I'll just put that in. I'm going to cut my Brussels sprout or my broccoli head into just sections so it'll fit in the hopper shoot here. Smaller. It's okay to get some of the stem in there too, because this is a great way you can use the stem. There's a lot of flavor and fiber and goodness in the stem too. So especially cooked like this, again, sauteed in the oil and mixed in with the pasta, I think it'll be good. All right, the container is full. We have got lots of veggies. Nice. Okay, now So we have the Brussels sprouts, and we have the broccoli, and we had the garlic, and I think that we could be heading over to start the stove. I'm going to turn my pan on a while. I'll bring my things over in a minute. I'm cooking with the stainless steel. This is my favorite cooker, by the way, from Pampered Chef. It's the nonstick stainless steel. It is fantastic. I can't say enough about how wonderful it is to cook with. So I'm going to come over here. We're going to heat our pan first. And we'll heat a little bit of oil. While that's heating up, I'm also going to heat another pan here. I'm not going to put any oil or anything in this, but I'm going to use this pan to toast some pine nuts. Just kind of my own creative addition to the dish, because I love toasted pine nuts. Bring our veggies over. Everything's here that we need. And the recipe, I'm going to go ahead and put our salmon in a while. I had preheated my oven, and so now I'm going to put this right in the middle of the preheated oven, and we're going to cook that for, let's see what the recipe says, 20 to 25 minutes. So I'm going to set that for 20 minutes, and we can take a peek. All right, our pan is starting to get hot, both of them. The pine nuts, I just put them so that they make a single layer in the bottom of the pan. And then as it starts to heat up, they'll toast those sides, and then I can just sort of jiggle them around and they'll get toasted on all sides. You kind of do it quickly, so once it starts browning, so that they don't get burnt. But there we go. Okay, let's put our olive oil in. We're going to put in 1/4 cup of olive oil. And we're going to add the garlic to that. Now, as the oil gets a little hot, the garlic will sizzle. We want it to get brown, but we don't want it to burn. So you have to watch this. We're at about medium heat for that. Garlic smells so good. I don't know what it is about the way that smells, especially as it's cooking. I mean, there's been times where I've been just cooking garlic or cooking onions, and people are like, oh, what smells so good in your kitchen? I'm like, oh, just onions. Delicious cooking. Our garlic is starting to jump around a little. You can see that oil is heating up. Stir it around so the flavor gets infused in all the oil. That's one of the benefits of cooking your garlic first in the oil, is the flavor is going to permeate through the oil. So now essentially we'll be cooking the vegetables in garlic oil. Just added flavor. Okay. Garlic is healthy for you too. I'm never going to eat it raw like some people I know. They say it's good for your heart. It's really good for your blood. That's our pasta. So while our garlic is cooking, I'm just going to pop over here and release the steam. Okay, you can start to see our garlic is getting brown around the edges. So we know that's starting to cook. We want to be careful it doesn't burn. Same with our pine nuts. We don't want those to burn. So we'll jiggle them around a little bit as they start to get toasted. Okay, I'm going to turn my heat up just a smidge. Get that oil nice and hot, and I'm going to put the vegetables in, and we're going to saute them in this oil. Seems like an awful lot of vegetables to me, but that's all right. Love vegetables. So, just stir this around to get coated with the oil. Hopefully we get some little caramelized, crispy edges on the veggies. That makes it delicious as well. You see my pine nuts starting to get brown a little bit? They're toasting. This brings out wonderful flavor. Look at the beautiful color of that green. I think vegetables are just so incredibly beautiful. All right, I'm going to take these off of the heat. They look nice. And while these are cooking, I'm going to just see how my pasta's done. I'll be right back. Okay, we have our pasta here. Stir it a little bit. We wanted it al dente. Boy, they really expand. Look how much bigger those noodles are now. And I put a little bit of extra water in there because the recipe actually calls for you to add in some of the pasta water. That has that added starch in there, and that makes it delicious. So, stir up. Okay. Before we add the pasta, check our recipe. When these start to get a little brown, you see, this is what I like. I like when we get a little bit of that brown caramelization on the veggies. That's what we want here. You can hear them sizzling in that oil. And we don't want to overcook the vegetables either because we want them to have that, we still want them to be fresh and crispy, not goopy and soggy. Nothing's worse than overcooked broccoli or Brussels sprouts. And then we're going to add 1 cup of peas. These are fresh peas from my farm again that I had frozen. But I'm happy to get them out and use them in this dish. Stir those in. Okay. I think I might need to take a sip of wine. While that's cooking, we'll add the pasta and the rest of the ingredients to this. We're going to finish it with some red pepper flakes and some lemon and some Parmesan cheese. So that sounds yummy to me. We have a sauce that we're going to make also for the salmon with some more of that South Carolina barbecue rub, some oil and mayonnaise and some lemon. And we'll pour that over that at the end. Okay, so I'm going to add the pasta, and then we're just going to let it simmer a little bit in that liquid until that's evaporated. Okay, let's see if we can make it all fit in this pan. Okay, stir that in. Recipe says it feeds 4. This looks like it would feed a family of 10, but we love leftovers, so I'm not complaining. I usually send leftovers home with my mom, but she's headed off to the beach with some girlfriends tomorrow, so she's actually bringing me food from her fridge to clear out instead of the opposite. Yeah, this looks so nice. Look at those veggies. Now, I think I'm supposed to add, simmer until the water is absorbed. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. I don't want that to stick. And I'm going to take a peek at my salmon. Yep, that needs a little bit more time. I'm just going to have my pine nuts on hold. I'm going to go back over here and we're going to make our sauce and finish up what we need. This dish. Clean off my board. All right, I'm going to zest a lemon with my microplane zester. The zest is where concentrated lemon flavor is. That's where the oil is. So zesting is actually releasing the oil. You can smell it. Okay. Okay, I have a little bowl. I can just put that in for now. Our lemon zest, and of course we're going to juice the lemon. I put half in this dish and half for our other recipe. And use my citrus press. Gets a lot of the juice out. So that's good to go. And I think we are ready to make the sauce for the salmon. So I'm going to use 1/4 cup of olive oil. Again. I'm going to add a tablespoon of mayonnaise. I'm going to add some more of the South Carolina style barbecue rub. And add 2 teaspoons. I can chunk off 2 teaspoons. Yeah, the humidity is not great for your spices. Okay, let me stir that up. Now, it sounds weird, but when this comes out of the, do I put lemon juice in that too? I can't remember. Yeah, and lemon juice, half of the lemon juice. When the salmon comes out of the oven, we're just going to pour this over it, and that's going to be the sauce. So, I have a friend who made this recipe. She doesn't even like salmon, but she said she loved the sauce, so she put it on all of her vegetables. Delicious. Okay, now that's the sauce, and I think we have everything ready for our pasta dish. So let's finish up our pasta. We are going to juice this other half of the lemon. And we're going to add the lemon juice, the lemon zest, some red pepper flakes to our pasta, and then we're going to grate some Parmesan cheese. So somewhere I have Parmesan cheese and my microplane zester. So let me get a prep bowl for that. It says 1 ounce. I'm just going to guess. I mean, who doesn't like cheese on pasta? Oh, and Parmesan cheese is hard. So it's because it's aged and dried. It's a hard cheese, not a soft cheese. Okay, let's head back over to our pasta dish, and we'll add our goodies. See how things look over here. Yeah, it looks like that liquid has absorbed, for sure. So we will add in red pepper flakes, the lemon zest, the lemon juice, and put this in a nice pasta serving bowl. We'll mix in the Parmesan cheese. Now the serving bowl I'm going to use is part of our glazed stoneware, and so I can actually set that here on the stove with this warm pasta in it, and it will stay very warm. So I can grab that, and then that's ready to take to the table for when our salmon comes out. We have everything put together. So I like nice big pasta bowls for serving pasta. This looks absolutely delicious. Just steamed up my glasses. And I'm going to put some of our toasted pine nuts right on top of that. And that is our orecchiette with Brussels and broccoli and toasted pine nuts. So I'll put this over with our caprese salad, and let's take a peek at our salmon. We have 1.5 minutes, and I think it is looking pretty good over there. Let me get a trivet out here. I have one of our silicone trivets, and it just helps preserve my cutting board. Okay, now Okay, beautiful color. I'm going to put that sauce right over it. And I think I'll save some of the sauce too to put on the table so that people can enjoy a little bit of extra sauce. For garnish for this, I'm just going to chop some Italian parsley. I'm using my chopper. I just have a couple sprigs of Italian parsley in there. Give it a couple pumps. And we can just put a little parsley on there. All right, I am excited to try both of these dishes. Here's our salmon with the South Carolina barbecue sauce. Our pasta is ready. Our caprese salad is ready. Our wine is ready, and we are ready. So that's it for tonight. I hope you'll join us next Sunday again. See what's happening in the Real Paige kitchen. See ya. Thanks for joining us in the Real Paige kitchen. Please subscribe and hit that like button and notification bell. Thanks. See you next time. Thanks for joining us in the Real Paige kitchen. Please subscribe and hit that like button and notification bell. Thanks. See you next time.